Hi, you're listening to the My Body, My Story podcast.
Whatever you do has to make you happy. It can't just be for somebody else. You've got to do things for yourself.
This is the 45 over 45 chapter, where we celebrate rule breakers and role models, the women who inspire us to live life our way and to show their sensuality, beauty, soul, and true essence. I'm your host, Alina, and I'm interviewing 45 women over the age of 45 while they're sitting in my makeup chair and getting their makeover for the project's photo shoot. Here we talk about what it's like to be 45 plus, adjusting to the changes that come with time, and we'll listen to the stories of our participants. If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website, alexandrawalker.com. Welcome, Karen, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today and sharing your story with us. So while you're in my makeup chair, I'll do your hair and makeup. And let's start with, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 62 today, and I was born in England, emigrated with my parents when I was 13, my mum and dad and two brothers, to Sydney.
Right.
From there, I went to school, started nursing when I was 17. That was when we were hospital trained. It seems like forever ago. So I've been a nurse for 44 years. I met my husband when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
We got married at 20, and over the years had 3 children, a son and 2 girls. Probably the greatest memory from that time was my husband was killed when he was 38. I was 36 at the time, and had 3 young children. The youngest was 6, so that was a difficult time.
Of course.
Yeah,
tragic.
it was, and very difficult to get through, I guess. Always there, I suppose I concentrated more on the children, and they all had counselling, and they probably can't remember it, but they got lots of counselling for them. I feel like I didn't deal with it well myself. I just
How do you deal with that, It's just...
Yeah, I think I tended to focus on the kids and not on myself, but anyway, kept working and ended up remarrying a few years later, and still married. Didn't have any children together. That was a mutual decision. He has 2 daughters and I had 3, so we figured that was plenty. Started training as a midwife in 2005, and that's what I'm doing now. Still a midwife, but I also do pregnancy, birth and newborn photography.
When did you start that?
About 5 years ago, and my aim is to try and increase my photography and ease up on the midwifery.
Yeah. What inspired you to do the newborn photography?
I don't really know why I started. My children were my son was thinking about having a baby, and I thought it would be an ideal thing to get into. I'd always been interested in, right from years ago with Anne Geddes, who used to put out like baby photos and things. I suppose that was the first sort of look I had at newborn photography, and then I did a few courses.
I did a few courses as well,
Yeah, and sort of slid into it. It's something I do part-time.
Yep, for the soul kind of thing.
More of a hobby that I enjoy, but it's a business I want to start. I do lots more birth photography.
Yeah.
So being a midwife, that'll just sort of, I know what goes on. I know what to expect.
You're like a baby whisperer. So they behave with you in the room.
Hopefully nothing will be too much of a surprise.
Yeah. I'm sure it won't. Where can, if anyone wants to book a session?
My business name is Beautiful Beginnings Photography. And that's fairly easy to find on the internet and also on Facebook.
Right.
And Instagram. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful Beginnings.
Beautiful Beginnings Photography, yeah.
What are you most passionate about?
My family,
yeah.
I think. We're very close.
When they behave?
Actually, I do feel, I say I feel lucky, but I've got 3 wonderful children, 36 down to 32, and they all work. They've never been in any trouble. I don't know whether that was good luck or good management, but they've all turned into nice people.
Yeah.
And we're very close. So I would say that's my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah. So everyone knows that with age we change, but what positive changes have you experienced as you're getting older?
I think I've learnt to relax a little bit and not worry too much about the small stuff. Things you can't change. There's no point in worrying about things you can't change.
That's right.
And I used to always be worried about what other people thought.
Yeah.
Which doesn't quite concern me so much these days.
Yeah. Learn to just consider you yourself, and that's it. That's how it should be. But I think we're all in the same boat. It takes time to get to that stage in life, doesn't it?
Yeah, lots of lessons learned and mistakes made along the way, I guess.
Yeah. What is the biggest challenge you are experiencing at this age?
Right now, I guess the biggest challenge probably would be that my body doesn't quite want to do what I want it to do. It used to sort of run down the street, or I don't know, I can't run anymore, and I just think I just have to learn to be 62 and not think I'm 35. So.
But then they say you're as young as you feel.
You are as
young. You have to start feeling like you're 35, and you'll be 35. You'll start running.
I actually do feel. I never consider myself in my 60s.
Yeah.
I always think, if someone sort of said to me, didn't know me, and if they were on the phone or something and said to me, how old are you? I could quite easily say 38.
Yeah.
In my head I'm 38, but the body tells a different story.
Yeah. What would be your greatest accomplishment? I know you said kids. Is there anything else that you're very proud of?
Just achieving what I have. I'm a nurse, I'm a midwife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. Got a beautiful granddaughter. Yep, she's nearly 9 months old.
Oh, wow.
Stella, and she's beautiful.
You're probably on speed dial.
Yes. So I guess, and also starting a business later in life.
Yeah.
That's been a big challenge. But I guess once the children leave home, you've got time to think about doing things for yourself.
That's right.
So
you get your time back when they grow up.
Yep. They still always need you for something, I'm sure. But
still, there's more time to.
For you. Yeah. I do still work full time, so that's a challenge.
Yeah.
As a midwife, so that's a big ask sometimes.
Yeah. What advice would you give your 30-year-old self?
Don't panic. It'll all work out, and don't worry about. I used to be a mad got to clean the house and got to keep it tidy and got to have the meals on the table, and doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Nobody notices in the end.
That's right.
Whether you clean once a week or once a fortnight, doesn't really matter. You're the only one that notices that, and if you can just sort of relax and enjoy other things rather than, I never used to be able to leave the house until the beds were made and the dishes were done, and and the kids were waiting to go out, and you'd say, well, I've got to do this first, but really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They could all be done later.
That's right.
So, just enjoy.
Learn to enjoy
life.
rather than just live
for sure.
to do chores. And,
Yeah.
So sort of similar, but that's this advice is for your 30-year-old self. What about other women? What advice would you give younger women who will eventually undergo these changes that you are going through right now?
Survive.
Yeah, it'll get better.
Just do the best you can. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah.
I was always very concerned about, what will so-and-so think of what I'm doing, or.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
That's right.
You've got to be happy in yourself.
It matters what you think, right?
Not
what other people think.
And whatever you do has to make you happy. It can't just be for somebody else. You've got to do things for yourself.
Yeah.
And things have come a long way in my 62 years,
Yeah.
Women did have the vote, but there were no high-powered women, no women in executive jobs and things like that.
Right.
When I first went nursing, you were either a nurse, a secretary, or a teacher. You didn't have really. It didn't seem to have that many. No, you didn't have a lot of options like there are now. That was 45 years ago. A lot's happened in that time. Lots of changes.
Lots of changes.
Not even any computers when I was at school.
Yeah.
So.
You think it's changed for the better? Do you?
Oh yeah. As far as progress for women goes, certainly changed for the better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen that I don't like, I guess, but
the good and the bad.
That's right. That's right.
Where do you think the idea of a perfect body image comes from?
Well, the idea depends whose idea it is. I guess most of people get an idea of a perfect body image from magazines and social media these days.
Yeah.
But what's perfect to one person won't be perfect to another.
That's right.
And I guess it's the perfect body image is you being happy with yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's no right or wrong way of doing that.
Yeah, everyone has their own taste in a way, right?
Yeah, I don't think we should be forcing people to be a size 8 or a 10 or whatever. But as long as you're happy with the way you are is the main thing.
Yeah. But you think media does have a big influence?
Oh, absolutely. And particularly when I was growing up, it was there was no social media, so everything was magazines. And you never saw.
Concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever you see in magazines or now on TV.
Yeah, but you never saw a larger girl in a magazine. It was always,
skinny.
Elle Macpherson, skinny models. Yeah. And if you were anything out of that, well, you weren't
a model.
Yeah, that's right. And always felt like you had to aspire to be thinner.
Yeah.
Which never worked for me. I was never on the thin side.
I don't think it works for anyone.
So, no, that's true. That's true.
What does it mean to you feeling good and looking good? What do you think comes first?
I think feeling good is more important, but I don't think you feel good unless you look good. No, and I don't mean by putting lots of makeup on or the perfect dress or
just whatever it means to you.
Just as long as you feel well.
Yeah.
you'll portray that in the way you look.
What makes you feel the most beautiful?
I don't know. I always considered myself average. I never considered myself beautiful. I do like, I think compliments are a great thing. If someone compliments the way you look, or, you know, I'll often get, I work with a lot of younger women, mostly in their 30s. Yeah. And I will often get them, someone will say to me, you don't look your age, or, yeah. And that's just something that makes you feel good. So I think that's a nice thing.
It's a nice thing to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I do have people that, you know, family that say, you don't look good in that, or you don't wear that today. So
family's allowed.
That's right.
They're forgiven.
They're allowed to tell you the truth.
If you have one, or if you heard something, so if you had to think of what's your favourite quote about being a woman, it doesn't have to be an actual quote, but it's something you came up with, or you heard, or it's in a movie, or whatever that sort of speaks to you.
I don't really have a favourite quote as such. I do have a tattoo that says, life fails to be perfect but never fails to be beautiful, which I really like. It just says everything to me, I guess. But the other thing is, I just think everybody can do something. If you see something that's not right, do something about it. If you see someone being mistreated, do something about it.
We're not powerless.
Yeah, everyone has the power to do something. Or even just tell someone.
Yeah.
You know, so they're probably the biggest things.
When did you get that tattoo?
Probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a significant meaning for you then? Like something prompted it?
No, I'd just been looking for something that meant something.
Yeah.
I saw it and thought, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us on your birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website alexandrawalker.com.